Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jemima. This is the part 2 of the series how to deal with a heartbreak. Please, if you've not seen the part 1, go and see it. I'll put the link up for you. I talked about the stages of heartbreak and some tips on how I have dealt with heartbreak. So if that's what you're here for, let's continue with this part 2. Another thing is you need to accept that situation. Just accept it. It has happened, okay? Accept the situation. Like I've said earlier on, let that person go. It's that person's decision, or it is your own decision. Let it go. It will take time, but just let it go. Another thing is you need to remove anything that would remind you of that person, like probably the person's shirt. For the ladies that like keeping their bobo's shirt, if it's something you need to throw it away. If it's something you need to burn it. If it's something you need to waybill or send back to him, send it back to him. If there's any of the properties in his house or in her house, go and carry it up. Like, there shouldn't be anything that reminds you of that person around you. If it's pictures, do away with it. If it's videos, delete it. Like, just cut that person off, cut off the communication, and at the same time remove or do away with anything that reminds you of that person. That is why I said you need to do away with the person's family too. If the person's family keeps on reminding you of that person and keeps on reminding you of why that relationship should have worked out or why it shouldn't have worked out, just cut them off. Even though it's your own friends that keep reminding you of that person, or that keep making you feel bad for walking away from the person, or that keep making you feel bad for, the fact that the person walked out on you, if need be, cut off those friends too, or stay away for at least for a while, okay? At least for a while until you're mentally stable. Cut off anything that reminds you of that person. Cut off communication as well. And that thing is avoid a rebound. Like, that is not the time for you to jump into another relationship. If that breakup was truly a major breakup that you're still grieving over, walk out. Like, don't allow yourself to jump into another relationship just because you want to get over another person. You will just be suffering yourself and suffering that new person. It's not, I have tried it before and it was terrible, ended terribly. It even made me feel worse than I already was. So please, don't do it. Don't jump into a relationship. Heal properly first before you walk into it. Don't go and suffer somebody's son or suffer somebody's daughter. Another thing is, cry if you need to. And I'm not saying you should necessarily cry to someone. Probably there could be people who will not just understand. They will start telling you, you're crying over a girl, you're crying over a girl, or you're crying over a guy. Like, now man, where they make you cry. So, like, avoid people like that. Cry if you need to. Even though it's something that you need to cry in your closet. Yes, cry in your closet. I know there are some times that you just have to cry. Accept the fact that it is okay to cry. It's not a taboo for you to cry over. You're not necessarily crying over that person. You probably will be crying over what you both have shared over the years, or over the months, or over the weeks. It's not necessarily over that person that you're crying. So accept that fact that you need to cry if necessary. Another thing is, you should get a therapist if you notice that you're going mental. There are some breakups that could be so terrible that it's major, and terrible that it could make you to have a mental breakdown. If it's getting to that stage where you don't understand yourself anymore, you're not recognizing yourself anymore, it's getting that bad that you can't take it anymore, please get a therapist if necessary. There are so many, like Nguvu Health. Search them out on Instagram. There's also Better Help. Just chat them up on Instagram. Try to know their rate. If it's something that you can afford, please, by all means, get it out, because you really need a therapist if things are getting haywire. Then, if you're a Christian and you're watching this, ask God to help you. I understand that it may be somehow, especially if you were involved in immorality, like if you guys committed fornication, you may be feeling guilty. Don't worry yourself. Just go back to God. If you're a Christian and you're watching this, go back to God, ask him for mercy, ask him to help you. Or probably if it's God that led you into that relationship, in quote, that you're feeling, this is this and this is this, still work. No matter what the situation is, go back to God, ask him for mercy. He will certainly accept you back, and ask him to give you the grace to walk over that breakup. This is when you need the Holy Spirit. If you've not seen my video on the Holy Spirit, I'll put the link up for you. Go and watch how to develop your relationship with the Holy Spirit. This is where your relationship with the Holy Spirit would show up for you. He would try to comfort you. He will try to minister to you. Just get God involved. Pray about however you feel. Have your relationship with the Holy Spirit. Talk to God about it. Another thing I'll tell you is to start something new. That journey that you've always wanted to go, start it. That thing that you've always wanted to do, but because of your partner you probably couldn't, start it. For me, every single thing I really wanted to do, I got myself involved in it and I'm excelling at it. So it depends on you, whatever it is that you have always wanted to do but probably couldn't do because of your partner, or probably whatever reason, for whatever reason you couldn't do, this is a very good time for you to do it. Another thing is get busy. Okay, like I've said, start something new, get a skill, develop your talent, start a business, start your studies, just get yourself busy with different things. That's just what I'm trying to say. Get busy. So another thing I really like to tell you guys about is the fact that you need to think straight. Okay, your partner could come back to you and tell you that, oh, he or she is sorry and wants you back, or you too could think that you've made a mistake and you'd want to get your partner back into your life. Please, please, and please, before you make such a decision, before you determine that you really need this person back into your life, think things through, and let it not be maybe a day or 2 days after the breakup that you're not thinking that, oh yes, I've thought about it and it's a good decision. Believe me, I've been there. Don't do that to yourself. At that moment, probably a week after the breakup, you are not thinking straight, and don't let anybody deceive you that, oh yes, I'm thinking straight. At that moment, it is your emotions that have come into play, and you shouldn't be making decisions based on your emotion, based on what you're feeling, because that feeling will go. And after that feeling goes, what next? You people will still go back to the same stage you were at before that breakup. The same issues that you guys had, you will still have it. So it's better, if you want that person back, you think things through, probably after some months or after a year that you both have probably thought about it, and you've still decided that this is the person that you want for yourself. That is the best time for you to now say, okay, fine, I need you back into my life. At that moment, you are sure that you are thinking straight. At that moment, it is not emotions that are in place. At that moment, you guys can now have a cogent discussion on, okay, what caused this breakup? What can we do that will make us not to get back to that stage again? At that moment, you guys can have meaningful discussions. So please, don't jump back into your partner's arms again after a breakup until you have thought things through and you both have had that discussion. If not, you will still break up again, and this time around it will be worse. And the last but not the least I'm going to tell you is give it time. It's going to take time, guys. It took me years for me to get over my major breakup, so don't think that you're going to get over it in a week's time or in a month's time. Even in a year's time, it may not be enough for you. Give it time. With time, when you hear that person's name, you'll be like, is this? Like, you even be asking yourself, what was I even doing with this kind of person? With time, trust me, you would understand why that relationship didn't work out, and you would be grateful to God for kicking that person off your life. Trust me, I'm in that stage, and it's wonderful that God is mindful of me and is thoughtful of me, and he knows that, like, you'll be like, so I had a better person coming for me and I was just wasting my time with that person. Don't worry yourself. So just give it time, okay? Don't worry, you'll be fine. And you even get to meet and date someone way better, and I'm not joking about that. Just suffer it to be so for now. Okay, it's going to take time, but you will be fine. Take my words for it. If there's any other thing that I've forgotten to say when editing this video, I will put it in. I remain your girl, Jemima.